So yeah, Lil Boat 2, it's the sequel to Lil Boat 1 from 2016, I think. And yeah, 2017, you had Teenage Emotions album, which didn't turn out good. It was bad. It was a bad fucking album. It was not good. Worse than Lil Boat, for sure. Lil Boat 1, okay, here's the thing with Lil Boat 1. When it came out, I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't really think it was that good. However, looking back on it now, I think it stood the test of time pretty well. I think it's actually held up as one of the more interesting albums in trap music. Because it's certainly unique, regardless of what you think of it. It's a pretty one-of-a-kind trap album, and I appreciate that, especially when we're living in a time where we're getting albums like Super Slimy and fucking Without Warning, and there's so many like trap albums like Huncho Jack, and I know they all just sound the same. Like, looking back, Lil Boat 1 has a lot more personality and flavor to it than a lot of current trap albums. So I give it credit for that, even though I'm not a huge fan of it. I was like, okay, so maybe if he can bring some of that back, make a sequel that's like a nice follow-up to the ideas he had on the first Lil Boat, we might have a pretty decent project. Because I think Lil Boat 1 had its moments of fun. I just think, in my opinion, overall, it ended up being a little bit more annoying than it was fun. But with Lil Boat 2, I mean, yeah, there's room for improvement, there is space to improve, and I was hoping maybe a Lil Boat 2 we could get an improvement. And guess what we do? Not get an improvement. Lil Boat 2 sounds like Culture 3. It sounds like every other trap album. It retains to me nothing about what makes Lil Boat 1 remotely interesting. I've seen people say like Lil Boat 2 is a return to form, saying how like, oh yeah, the original appeal of Lil Yachty, in my opinion, is back here. You know, Teenage Emotions, he fell off and shit. In my opinion, Teenage Emotions retains more of the creativity, the originality that was found in Lil Boat 1 than Lil Boat 2 does. Lil Boat 2 sounds way more generic. Like, Lil Boat, he sounds like half asleep. It just sounds so bored. Like, even on the track with Lil Pump, it's especially noticeable. Because Lil Pump is so hyped. Like, he's so fucking like, like he's just going crazy. And then you hear Lil Yachty, he's like, your baby daddy is sucking, man. Your baby daddy. He's just not trying. I'm like, you can just clearly tell there's like a contrast here. And so, yeah, the whole thing, because that's the thing. Like, I noticed, by the way, all these tracks are in like all caps, and there are 2 songs like back to back in the very middle of the album that are lowercase. And these tracks are way more like Lil Boat 1, like playful type songs. I'm like, okay, I get it. The uppercase tracks are Lil Boat, and the lowercase tracks is Lil Yachty. And yeah, there's 2 fucking Lil Yachty songs. there's 2 of them. And they're like my 2 favorite songs, bro. Like, She Ready, fucking dope. It's catchy, and I like the sentiment of like, are you ready to take on like this like superstar life, you know, where I'm like famous as hell? Like, are you sure you're ready? It's a big commitment, you know. Are you sure you're ready for this fucking life? Lil Yachty, he sounded comfortable. He sounded like he made sense to rap on this particular instrumental. And I'm normally not a huge fan of like flutes and shit, but on this track, it makes sense for Lil Yachty and that kind of playful thing, and I can understand it. And then we have Love Me Forever, which I'm kind of annoyed as short as it is, because it has a really lovely like melody to it. Love me today, love me forever. It's really like somber, and the piano sounds perfect with it too. It's like 1:44, so you have this She Ready and this 1 minute long song. It's just like, this is all we're gonna get of like the Lil Boat 1 stuff. And these are my favorite moments on the ball, and the ones that are more just kind of soft and just kind of happy. Lil Boat 1, I think, falls short when it's trying too hard to be, I guess, serious, or trying to come through with like a banger, or Lil Yachty's trying to rap, because I don't think he can rap at all. Like, Oops, like his flow on Oops is horrible. It's awful. It's a total mess, man. And the final track with Trippie Redd, terrible closer. Awful closer. Trippie Redd sounds terrible, and Lil Yachty just fucking botches it completely. I will say one other highlight though for me, in regards to like the Lil Boat like banger type tracks, the track with NBA Young Kidnapper. Yeah, that guy, the one who recently got like some sort of domestic charge, felony fucking accusations or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, like, he got some charges or whatever. But yeah, he's featured on this track called NBAYOUNGBOAT, I guess using their 2 names together. This track is a banger, I can't lie. The beat on this track is dope. When Lil Yachty starts like kind of aggressively rapping, and the bass is like doof, 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 doof. I can appreciate it. The song with Ugly God, Boom. I think Ugly God came through real nice with a solid feature, even though the whole boom, boom, refrain was annoying. Self-Made, I guess, was one of the more tolerable songs here, even though it didn't really set much of a tone as an intro. So yeah, overall, it's just a total generic hodgepodge mess. It's definitely more easy to sit through. It's less infuriatingly annoying than Teenage Emotion. I would prefer it if he just decided to push the things that make him interesting to me into new, more, you know, well-developed territory. But instead he just kind of like plays it safe and just makes a really generic trap album. Like Teenage Emotions, that album was definitely less tolerable than Lil Boat 2, but I think it retained more of what made Lil Boat interesting. Even if you're not a big fan of Lil Boat 1, there were definitely aspects of it that set it apart. And like I said, I would have liked it if on Lil Boat 2 he just expanded on it and really just kind of, you know, reached the fullest potential of this new style of trap he was bringing with Lil Boat 1, but instead, he just kind of caves in and delivers Culture 3. Yeah, I'm going with a 5 overall. There were some fun moments. There were a few cuts on here that I did enjoy, but generally, it's just an average, run-of-the-mill, 5 out of 10, mediocre, generic trap release. I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, cool. Bye.